But of course, let's look at the domestic prices you just talked about. We'll get back to the burning economic issues, and I'm seeing on what you and your team at FDC put together that rice prices is beginning to climb. Tomato, as you put it earlier, is also climbing. I'm looking at the price of palm oil, and some of it are also climbing. These were prices that were largely neuter weeks ago, but now from your market study, it looks like these figures, these products started to move in a negative direction.
Yeah, I should say that this commodity price they're compared to the previous month. So this is this month from this time in July. So yes, we're seeing some commodity prices like palm oil, semovita, which quite strangely have not responded to the harvest effect. So yes, but on the general, I think most commodity prices have remained flat. They're sticky downwards, but they're generally flat. Rice is still about 15,500. Gari is still about 7,500 for a 50 kg bag. So, but tomatoes has been volatile in the last couple of months. It still is about 20,000 naira for a basket.
That's not. I'm looking at rice at 16,000. At about 16,000 per bag. That's not a very comfortable price level. They're still very high end of double digits.
Yes, that's true. I think we can forget about the single digits levels that the government promised to bring rice down to. I don't know whether it was 9,000 or 10,000 naira that the government said it would bring down prices to. But yes, that is unfortunate that a key commodity like rice is still very expensive. Low-income families are lamenting about the high cost of commodities. Every week you go to the market, prices have gone higher. That is a very worrisome trend, especially for low-income class.
Yeah, so if we put everything together and we go back to the burning economic issues and the impact on what is good and what is not so good in the news, where does all of this put us? The government is targeting 3.5% GDP for 2018, according to the IMF. The forecast is between 2.1 and 2.8. Very ambitious, 3.5% from the Buhari's administration. We are currently doing 1.5%. Either ways, we're in the middle of the road, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. Like you said, that 3.5%, I think it's not likely at all. Would need to record at least a cumulative 7% or even more, 10%, 7% to 10% in Q3 and Q4, which is not possible at all. Q3 is likely to record a similar performance to Q2, or maybe even slower. So, and I doubt Q4 would record growth rate of 6%, 7%. So that 3.5%, I think, is a dream, is a myth, to be honest. And the other bad news, I think, this tepid growth rate would definitely be a cause for concern for policymakers. I think it raises doubts about the efficacy of the government's policy mix. I think we're in a political environment, so there might not be political will to implement structural reforms that would actually make the economy grow at faster growth rates. So I think that will be pushed down the road to 2019 to implement those structural reforms.
Okay, don't let us finish this conversation without touching on, and we always enjoy once in a while when you folks bring at least one domestic agro-commodity to the table and we discuss and we chew it over. This is one of the local produce that I ate a lot in my early days as a child. And that's cocoyam.
Yes, cocoyam. Cocoyam is a member of the root crop family. You can say it's the younger brother of yam and cassava. And what I've found out is that this commodity is really popular among the low-income and working class of the country. That's why, unfortunately, it's labeled as the poor man's crop. But I think we've seen stories in the past few weeks.
I beg your pardon.
Negative headlines. Nigeria is...
Hey, hold on a second, Adim. I'm going to run into a fight with you there, even though you're about 20 kilometers away from where I am. Cocoyam this is one of the most nutritious. Yes, one of the most nutritious, valuable. I haven't done my research in the laboratory yet, Maybe I'm going to ask a professor to do that for me. But cocoyam is very rich, even richer than yam itself. That I can tell you from my childhood days.
Yes, I couldn't agree with you more. It is, for a fact, it is more nutritional than yam and cassava. But
yes,
my point is that it is mostly associated with
yeah, I know,
the low income class. So
I've
seen headlines about poverty. Nigeria is the poorest country. Nigeria is the most poor people in the country. Our income per capita is likely to decline for 8 years. To lift those people out of the poor, I think more emphasis should be placed on commodities like that. More investment needs to go into commodities like that to lift those people out of poverty, to increase put more money into the pockets of those smallholder farmers. So that is my point. And cocoyam is a very diverse, has very diverse uses, like you said. The leaves can be used for vegetable soup, it can be used for medicinal purposes, and it can be used for cocoyam fufu, which I quite like myself. So it's a very good commodity to focus on.
Yes, but yes, again, because this is a $2.12 billion in terms of global production. I don't mind producing cocoyam and being a multi-billionaire.
Yes, and Nigeria, to be honest, we are doing well in that side. Our production, we account for about 30% of global production, and there's still scope for more. We still have potential for more scope. We can produce about 3 to 5 million tons. So the hope is that in the next few years we would increase production in that area.
Yeah. So if I just produce cocoyam and earn about 2.12 billion, I can begin to look at having a handshake with Aliko Dangote, who produces cement, in the next few years. Even though he's worth about $12–14 billion, and I'm worth about $2 billion just producing cocoyam, I don't mind. We will meet at the Billionaires Club somewhere, I don't know, somewhere in the world, maybe in Singapore, wherever. So that's the big business. Thank you very much for today. Talking about cocoyam, one of the very rich agro products we have in this country, for everyone who wants to have a taste of that. Adim Mokwesa, thank you very much. Live from our studios at the Nigerian Stock Exchange, a member of the Economic and Research Team at the Financial Derivatives Company. You've heard about the industrial production. Nigeria is industrializing very sluggishly. So what's the problem, really? We've talked about foreign direct investment. We've got a foreign aid. We're looking at our domestic capital. But now the current central bank says they want big ticket companies, AAA companies, to go into the market with CPs and corporate bonds and rev up production, because they have what it takes to create jobs massively and help the country. So we're talking about industrialization and using the local resources, human and material, and that's the next conversation after the break. You're watching Business Morning